we wanna bring Mary Lou through first, or?
So,
Mary Lou, you wanna come up first?
got a chair for you.
Thank you.
How we doing?
So I believe we've reached a decision on this, and we're gonna allow you to use the town hall, but not the fire station
For the turkey basket,
for the turkey basket,
The boxes.
however you
the box.
describe it. And our reasoning in that, there's a few problems in that fire station that's been brought to our attention by a couple different people. In between where you'd have to go through, I mean, that is a room with radios in it, I understand. Those radios are not cheap. So
And it can't be moved.
that coupled with a few other concerns, we'd like to just have the town hall.
We never had a problem with anything there, ever. The radios have been there before, stuff's been there. We just,
Well, we don't wanna have it somewhere.
it's many years we've been very
Yeah.
trustworthy. And we have good crews that work.
Yeah, you do.
We're not questioning that, Mary Lou.
No.
Can we make, does the town hall work for you?
I don't know. It's gonna be close. We'll probably have to put up several tents
Where?
in the parking lot. As you figure, we usually have, a lot of tables set up in the, fire station part with boxes filled with food. And so we'll have to put them outside. We'll put as many as we can in the fire station. And
You mean town hall?
yeah. And, then outside, we've got the pallets with all the turkeys. And we've always put potatoes and probably onions in the fire station too, when they come in the day before, and maybe the apples. And then gradually bring them out and put them in the boxes. And,
You're sort of running out of room over there, aren't you?
we do it, but
What's the day, what's the actual day? Is it a Saturday or a Wednesday, or what, do you know what the?
it's Saturday the 18th.
It's a Saturday?
It's always the Saturday before Thanksgiving.
If you're gonna put up tents, could you use any of this area over here?
You can't lug it all that way.
Can you do it all here in a tent? Not enough room? I'm just
No,
trying to figure out where you can get some room. There just isn't a lot of room over there, that's the problem.
So we can't impede, the equipment needs to be able to get out of the fire station if there was a call. So the tents would have to go on the side.
I meant the side.
Yeah, no, I know that. So it kind of limits you with accessibility with vehicles, stuff like that also.
Yeah.
May I speak for a minute?
Sure.
Well, I just noticed that the minutes said that you agreed to discuss the decision at this week's meeting with the ambulance captain and the fire department chief. So I wondered why that's not being public.
Individually, we've met with some of them and gotten
It
information.
says that you would do it at this week's meeting.
Yeah,
So I'd
Okay,
like to
Kim.
hear
no, we
what
said
their
we'd do it this
concerns
week.
are.
What do you want?
I don't have any issues with it.
Okay,
We
Jesse,
haven't,
what-
we haven't had any issues with it.
But there is a radio that's worth how much in that room?
That what?
How much is that radio worth in that room?
How much
between
is that room worth, or how much would it cost to replace it?
That radio, how much would it cost to replace it?
Probably nothing, because we have one spare right now. If we had to go out and buy a new one,
How much is it to buy one?
I have no idea, because that radio is 3 generations old. Alls I can say is it would probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of $6,000 to $8,000.
Okay,
Jesse,
I will, if that is the case, I will move and secure our cabinet space.
Chris?
Could you guys use any help in keeping an eye on things? I mean, like volunteers who, I'd be happy to sit down there for the morning and, you know, it starts in the morning and goes till the afternoon, correct?
Was it 10 to 2?
Last year, we did have one firefighter and one junior firefighter that not only were there, but helped load stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you'd
Yeah, well,
like.
they're on the clock, I mean, I.
No, these were volunteers. They were there to help Mary Lou, but at the same time,
Keeping
they're
an eye
also
on.
keeping an eye on the equipment.
Yeah, but probably a few more people that would be willing to do that. I'd be happy to.
I mean, short term, we could put a piece of plywood up in there over that desk and the radio. But the radio is mounted underneath a shelf, so it would have to take some messing around to actually do something to that.
Is it in a room that's lockable?
No, they use that, in the past, they've used that as a straight through from the town hall to go out into the fire station to get their root crops.
Can you go around?
What we do and have found easiest is people come in the side door of the fire station, check in, we give them a number, which is the number of people in their family, which means the size box they'll get. We give it to them, and there'll be one of the Interact or National Honor Society or one of the older high school kids there that will take them in their slip out and get them a box and then help them to their vehicle. So,
When they go into the
Somebody is-
town hall, they don't go through the fire station, all right? They
Yeah,
go
they
back
do.
out and around and use the main door.
to go out, yes.
Yeah,
they
but
come-
once they have their tag number,
Yeah, they go through that door
oh, they do go through that door.
and go into the fire station, because most of the boxes are there, and go into the town hall.
Okay.
It'll always be the fire station.
Are they only there on Saturdays? Is everything all set up on Saturday, nothing is done on Friday?
We set the tables up on Friday, but not in the fire station, just in the town hall. We set the tables up and we put the boxes on the top and the bottoms of the tables, so that everything can be filled on Saturday. And on Saturday morning, we bring the other tables into the fire station and put the rest of the boxes out. We usually do the boxes in the fire station are the ones for large families. Did Mr. St. Pierre ever get back to you about using the school?
no, they
No.
probably would've had a meeting last night, I haven't heard, so. Yeah, I don't know where we stand with that.
We looked at it, and it would mean an awful lot of lugging of all the food. You figure the tons of food we are distributing.
But it's all lugged down here.
No, not really. It is, but not the distance you would be lugging it at the high school.
Meaning
The
into.
trucks
You
pull
don't have
in.
trucks and,
So, Mary Lou, you been over to the high school to already check out the potential there or not?
I didn't, but a couple of our board members did,
When did this take place?
a few weeks ago.
Because he didn't make any mention of what area would even.
Well, he may not have known.
Well, we do the trucks back into the parking area, and we just go through the door and unload them. And it's not a far distance to carry all that food.
So Kim, would you be the one down there, sitting there supervising the fire station, or how does that work?
It would depend on whether or not Jerry is down there doing it. I haven't seen him to talk to lately, but he was the one, him and, Logan Yateman were the ones that were helping out last year with the boxes, but also just keeping an eye on stuff.
So you haven't talked it over with personnel yet?
No.
What about response time? God forbid if there was a fire in the center of town, and the fire truck's parked up the town garage.
Probably not much different than, you're still gonna get there. We have to put people in the truck. If they're not around, then the response time is variable.
So you're telling me-
Distance-wise, it's about 3 miles.
You're telling me the response time, if there was a fire in the center of town here somewhere, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
hypothetically, if there was a fire here in this town, the response time wouldn't change much if they had to go all the way to the town garage to get that fire truck versus having it here in the station?
No, because if they're not here, then it's a moot point anyways. It's 3 miles up there,
Yeah, but you're saying if they're not here, what do you mean by not here?
if they're not around.
Meaning you're
If they're not available as fire personnel.
But that's gonna be the same if you're not around up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
If they are around, it's much quicker if it's here.
yeah.
So I would still like to extend my volunteering, and I'm sure we could probably find a couple people maybe on the budget committee or something like that who would do a couple hours, you know, keep 2 people there, you know, and throughout the day.
Wish we had these volunteers when we wanted to paint the fire station.
Right?
Imagine that.
Yeah. Would've saved a few dollars.
Mm.
Last week you had talked about this being the last time they would have it there. Does that still hold?
We haven't
That was the
decided.
proposal that Matt made, I don't
Matt
know.
Gillette made that proposal.
I don't know if it was validated by any of the,
Yeah, we didn't say yea or nay to it, I mean,
I have no problem with the
town hall. I do have a problem with the fire station still.
Yeah.
I stand where I was half an hour ago about this.
I just heard both your people say, department heads say that they would work with it. That's what you agreed to last week.
what you agreed, that's what I heard.
Why don't we get down to one firehouse and let them use the town hall whenever they want?
Yeah, because the response time wouldn't be any different, would it, Barbara? Is what I'm hearing.
I don't think that's really appropriate.
Oh,
Well, we're
did
trying to
I
come
just
up-
hear that, Susan, or did I hear that? Did I hear that from Kim a few minutes ago, that the response time didn't change?
Well, it depends on who your firefighters are and where they're coming from. It could be even quicker if somebody lives up there and jumps in a fire truck.
Potentially, but how many guys we got working out of this fire station?
Say
Well,
that.
under the captain, how many firemen work out of this station primarily?
Primarily?
Yes,
2,
2 firemen, that's it?
yeah.
What's-
Everyone else, we got Matt and Matt that work out of this station.
What's the opinions from them?
I haven't talked to them, I haven't heard anything from them about it.
What would be the response trying to get through, you mentioned safety, how would the fire truck get through if there were a lot of cars there and people there, if they had to get through their road?
I don't know.
I mean, we've been listening to this for year after year, whether they can use it or not, and I just feel like if you're gonna let them use it this year, and are you gonna come to some decision next year, this isn't gonna happen, because it is a safety. I mean, nobody's questioning that end of it, but,
I'm looking at it from a safety point, that's all I'm
well,
seeing.
I've seen that too, the safety, carts going across people, the kids are running back and forth, but, if somebody could supervise that or something, it's, is there a way to give, you have a lot of people that go to the friendly meals on Thursday to maybe get some of the traffic down, could you give those baskets, because a lot of those people are single people or 2 people in a household, could those baskets be given out at that time? Because you have, 40, 50 people then?
No, because the turkeys probably won't arrive until Saturday morning, because we don't have storage area to store, say, 800 turkeys and keep them frozen. So the food bank usually brings the truck with turkeys on Saturday morning. And the awesome thing about this is all the food, the turkeys, the potatoes, the squash, the onions, the stuffing, the cranberry sauce, the fried filling, and usually rolls. It's all, we don't pay for any of it. It's all donated to the New Hampshire Food Bank for pantries, and also local donors to the Monadnock Food Coalition, where the pantries in our area, like the King Kitchen and Stoddard and some of the other towns, you share, so that everybody gets a really, really good box and good family dinner.
Can I ask you one question? Is it true the town of Charlestown does their own thing?
They pick it up here, because they're part of the Fall Mountain Food Shelf. Charlestown, we just have a separate site in Charlestown. And the truck with the turkeys and the veggies and everything.
So the Charlestown townspeople don't actually come here to get their food, it's a group of people that come to get it and they disperse them over in Charlestown is what you're saying?
Yeah, they're using the, is it the Legion or the VFW there on Lover's Lane?
Yeah.
They've already booked it and they're doing baskets there, but they'll pick their food up here.
So they're like a little satellite of the Fall Mountain Food Shelf in Charleston.
Yeah, we have 2 sites,
Yeah.
Langdon and Charlestown.
So I have a question, Mary Lou. So I guess I'm a little confused. What is the gentleman's name that runs it over there?
Dick Westney.
Because I know he posted the other day about needing food for the Thanksgiving baskets. So I'm just wondering if people donate. So that's why I thought it maybe was separate. He wasn't getting
No.
stuff. So he will be getting all the food
He
for
gets
the baskets?
exactly what we get. This is his first year, he may have misunderstood something.
Well, I know that
I
there
don't
was,
know.
there was some talk about, I guess, last year, I don't know, something to do with the baskets in Charlestown were half full compared to the one in Fall Mountain. I was confused because I thought it was all one. It was all Fall Mountain. And so he's
Actually,
asking for more donations.
what people were upset about last year was, in prior years, we used to get extra items like soup, canned vegetables, different other things, maybe tuna fish. With the cost of food now, the coalition and the food bank didn't give any extras. So the people in Charlestown were used to getting extra stuff. And so they were upset that they only got the smaller box, which we got also.
Well, I like the idea of having separate places like that, it takes a lot out of down here. Minimizes a lot of the congestion down here. I would hope that you could do it Langdon one, or Ackworth one, or Walpole one, or I don't know, a couple of others. That's the way I would go, but you do what you want.
Are we gonna read this?
Excuse me. My name is Les Thomas, I live here in Alstead. When I hear selectmen, who normally are good on their words, say at a public meeting that if all three department heads were okay with it for this year, he would stay in line with it. Now he's fighting it again. Now what's the, he's got two different words. What are we gonna take? What are we gonna expect? Trust him for the rest of the time?
My mindset is the safety of the townspeople as a whole.
Sir, I was a volunteer firefighter for 30 years, plus a flight certified medic in the state of New York.
Mm-hmm.
And we never had any problems. We did this for our community up there. We served,
Hey, hang on.
I'm talking about
When the
that one
select board
particular.
speaks,
Yeah.
We speak.
Okay,
We'll recognize you and let you speak.
all right, sorry.
Don't talk over him.
I apologize.
I'm worried about the one day, the safety of the townspeople. If a fire truck is up to the town garage, if it's cold, I know Kim, you said it could park down here if it's warm. We don't know that yet.
The other thing we've got to bear in mind too is, even if they don't use the fire station, is where we're gonna park our POVs when we come down to get the stuff. The engines and stuff.
Your personal vehicles.
Yeah,
Well, and that, hopefully that area is left aside. I mean,
there's not enough room there,
They're gonna put
period.
the tents in there.
yeah, but even off the left-hand side of the fire station?
Well, yeah, but they can't all park in one spot.
Right. And the problem.
But there's two guys that show up, you said.
There may be 5 guys that show up if
Yeah.
I'm at the dump,
Yeah.
along with a couple others,
And I
or
mean-
what have you.
They'll be
It
real-
depends on where we are, were something to happen.
My main concern is the safety of that day.
And
If somebody's house was go up in flames, do we risk a problem?
do we risk running over a kid who's running out in front of the fire truck? You can't,
I can see, even if they're not gonna be used the fire station, you still probably ought to move the trucks out of the station and put them somewhere else, so that you can get to them.
And if it's under 55 degrees, the ambulance has to run all day.
Tell you what, if you'll man the station, I'm good with it.
okay.
Fair enough.
Making the clerk of the works in charge of all safety, all, okay.
I'll sit right in that radio room and,
No, and make sure nobody gets hurt in our station and
well, that,
Yeah, you're the,
No sleeping.
nobody gets hurt in our station, Kim. Hey, what's this smell? Give me
how
a
can you
word.
guarantee that nobody's gonna not slip, trip and fall, whether it be inside the station or outside the station? You can't make a guarantee like that.
I know the slip thing, but we also heard that kids were climbing around on equipment and stuff like
It
this.
wasn't even there. The fire truck was up at the town barn last year.
So there's no possibility of them climbing on anything down there?
What is there to climb on?
I don't know.
There's nothing.
No, it wasn't.
No, and the ambulance, we put the ambulance at the dump.
Yeah.
Good. You
'Cause
guys have fun with it.
Yep.
That's what I say.
move,
I'm bored. Let's go.
yeah.
I feel like throwing out an idea.
No,
No, it's under discussion.
it's in his hands
Yeah, that's
now.
fine, that's fine. It was, I thought, a pretty good idea, and I didn't come up with it.
Oh,
But just a thought, if things like this come up that conflict, I mean, is there a possibility that Alstead could do a little public safety day? Like out back here, have the police and the fire and the ambulance where people could stop by and kids could check out the equipment and things like that. Just a friend of mine threw that out there, so I thought I'd pass it on. Seems like this year's covered, so, oh well. I thought it was kind of a neat idea.
perfect.
Okay, you got it.
Thank you.
You're all set.
Oh, okay,
It's my birthday, I won't be here.
thank you very much.
Thank Kim and Jesse.
Yeah.
26, 50,
Don't thank us.
Thank you, Kim and Jesse.
30-ish, 30.
You did vote.
Well, we're not
Still
comfortable
not
with it, but we're happy with the way it's gonna work.
We always do a good job. Nothing has ever
Does
happened,
Kim have a printout?
so.
Because I don't have one of those.
Oh, I don't.
So don't worry.
I don't
Oh, I
think-
don't.
I think you have all of them underneath.
Oh, why don't you say something?
I did.
Sorry.
I'll need a,